Hi, how are y'all doing? I am doing a contest video for EJ, PuckPond007, who recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations to you, EJ. EJ is one of my favorite guys to watch here on YouTube. I don't watch all of his videos, but I watch a lot of them, especially his top 10 lists, and of course he's on the collab channel I'm on, the Movie Reviewers 100. EJ actually also entered a contest that I had a couple years ago. I can't remember what the theme of the contest was, but he won a prize. I believe it was The Warriors, the DVD, and he made a video when he got it thanking me. So thanks, EJ, and hopefully I'll win your contest and I'll make a video once I win the prize, something like that. Now, at the beginning of the year, EJ's asking for a top 10 list of 2012, your top 10 films of the year. And I did that, early in the beginning of the year, when 2012 was wrapped up. But of course, I don't mind repeating some of these titles because they're quite good. My number 10 pick was Argo, the Best Picture winner. There was actually some heavy competition for this slot from a few other films, but I went with Argo just because it's a very entertaining movie and it moves very gracefully between comedy in the whole Hollywood sense, the Hollywood comedy, and then of course you've got the thriller aspects, and there's some invention, some embellishment of the suspense and the climax, but still it's a very decent film, and I would say between this and Gone Baby Gone, I'd have maybe a tough time picking which one I like better, but I'd probably go with Argo. I didn't really like Gone Baby Gone when I first saw it, but I like it more now. I saw it recently. The Town I didn't like so much. He's directing another movie, Mr. Affleck, so I'll be looking forward to seeing that in a couple of years when it comes out. My number 9 film is an obscure movie called Perfect Sense, and it takes place in England. The main characters are played by Ewan McGregor and Eva Green. He's like a chef, and she's a scientist, and there's this phenomenon that's happening around the world where everyone in the world is losing each of their 5 senses one at a time. It's an interesting idea, and I really found it quite fascinating. I was a little bummed that towards the end there they tried to call each other, but they've lost their hearing at that point. I'm just like, you've got cell phones, you can text, you don't have to actually call my voice. But aside from a few minor quibbles, it's a really fascinating movie. Eva Green is, one of the most beautiful women in the world. She's very alluring, and she has some pretty hot sex scenes with Ewan McGregor. If I was Ewan McGregor's wife, I would not want to see this movie because he looks like he's enjoying licking her body a little bit too much. Just more reason for the rest of us to enjoy the film, though. My number 8 film was Silver Linings Playbook. I actually switched this a little bit since I composed the list. This was actually number 7 originally, but I moved it to number 8 just because it fits better this way for me, whatever. As you know, it's a big film from last year, big award-winning film. Jennifer Lawrence, Best Actress, and David O. Russell directed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her and Bradley Cooper in the next film that David O. Russell makes, which is coming out later on, also co-starring Amy Adams and Christian Bale from The Fighter, which is another David O. Russell film. That'll be pretty awesome. What's the name of it? American Hustle, I believe that's what it's called, yeah. Some very, very sexy 70s fashions on both Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams. That's half the reason why I go to see some of these movies, because there's hot women in it. I mean, what better reason, right? Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'm not going to comment on Emma Watson's hotness too much, but she is very cute now, and she's very, very good in this movie. Of course, Logan Lerman is the main character, and it was directed actually by Stephen Chbosky, who adapted his own novel. He wrote the novel based on his own life experience in being a teenager in the 90s, and then adapted the script and then directed the film. Amazing. Great job. Terrific movie. My number 5 film, I'm sorry, I skipped number 7. That's The Avengers. Yes, Joss Whedon's The Avengers. I'm sure you're familiar with that one. My number 5 film was Killer Joe by William Friedkin. Stars Matthew McConaughey and Juno Temple and Emile Hirsch and Thomas Hayden Church and Gina Gershon. A really good, nasty noir. It's based on a play by Tracy Letts. Friedkin also adapted a Tracy Letts play called Bug a couple years earlier with Michael Shannon and Ashley Judd. It's also a really good movie. This one's also really good. Great ending to this movie. I laughed out loud when the ending came. It was just a riot. It's a good one. My number 4 pick, an odd choice for a lot of people, I'm sure, given its failure at the box office, but I really, really love John Carter of Mars. And I know everyone's supposed to call it John Carter, but man, the title, as far as I'm concerned, is John Carter of Mars. You know, that's what it's always been supposed to be called. And I was very pleased at the end when they had John Carter of Mars at the end of the movie, even though John Carter all by itself was at the beginning. I'm like, thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Stanton, for putting that on there. Andrew Stanton, of course, is the director of Finding Nemo and WALL-E, and this was his first live-action movie, and I really thought it was spectacular. My number 3 favorite movie of 2012 was called Ruby Sparks. It was co-directed by Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris, who did a lot of really interesting music videos, and then went on to do Little Miss Sunshine, which was a Best Picture nominee. This one, unfortunately, not a Best Picture nominee, but I think it's a really, really good film. Has Paul Dano as the main character. He's a writer, and he sort of invents a character who then comes to life. And that character is played by Zooey Deschanel, who wrote the script and is also Paul Dano's real-life girlfriend. Really, really good script. A lot of good people are in this movie besides the two of them. Annette Bening and Antonio Banderas play Paul Dano's parents, or at least she plays his mother, and Antonio Banderas is her husband. I don't think he's actually her father, but really good film. Funny and a little scary at times, actually, especially towards the end. My number 2 favorite movie, another animated film. One always tends to find its way onto my list at some point or another, and that's Wreck-It Ralph. Really, really enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph. Got kind of emotional at a certain point, which I wasn't expecting. But I was looking forward to seeing that movie because of the whole 80s game culture and all those characters that are in it. Really, really, really fun movie. John C. Reilly, of course, is the main character. And Sarah Silverman does the other key supporting character. And Rich Moore, he's the director. I'm not really sure what else he's done, but it's a really terrific movie. However, the very best movie of 2012 for me was the extended director's cut of Margaret, which got a very, very limited release. It was a long sort of fight over the course of years. I think they finished shooting in 2006, actually. It didn't actually get released until here in Chicago until 2012, and I think other places in 2011. Anyway, the financiers demanded that he release only a 2.5-hour version of the movie, and so he did. But really, the director's cut, the 3-hour version, is the cut you ought to see. It's the more complete version, and I think it's a terrific movie. Unusual. Anna Paquin is the main character, and it's her and her mom living in Manhattan, and she's just, you know, a bratty teenager who is having trouble, you know, sort of getting along with people. Matt Damon and Matthew Broderick have small roles in it, as well as a few other people. Jean Reno is in it. A few other interesting folks. Anyway, it's a really, really terrific movie. It might be hard for some people to find, but if you can, it's worth seeking out. Thanks. That's my list. Thanks, Puck Bond, Mr. EJ, for putting on this contest. Appreciate it. I look forward to the drawing and stuff like that. I believe the deadline is later towards the end of this month, August 24th or something like that. And the link, of course, to his video is in the description below if you'd like to enter yourself. Thank you. Bye.